Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
To the west of the great continent of Kern lies the island provinces of Perth, home to brave seafarers, exotic pleasures, storms of swirling magical energy, and cults dedicated to the old gods. Upon these white sands came the Eve's Watch, a band of sellswords and brutes seeking their fortune upon the shores of these lands. Let me tell you of this age of legends, for I and I alone am keeper of their saga. This is their chronicle.
So you continue off into the jungle after your battle with the Nayusi, the demon of Mahz'Shapour, if you can even call it a battle. It was more like a mugging.
Yeah, tell that to my shoulder and my leg.
The mugging of the demon of Mahz'Shapour.
You travel through the sweltering heat of the jungle for a moment before you come to another cliff. A broad, empty area on a cliffside, much like the one that you camped at the evening that the mosquitoes attacked. And from this vantage, you can see Zayeron's keep. It's atop a spire of rock that is jutting from the ocean. It's hundreds of feet tall, this spire of rock, and the keep sits upon it. The keep is more like a round tower surrounded by a wall. It looks like at one point in time, there were other buildings there. There's the remnants of a proper keep that has fallen to disrepair. There's the scarring of attacks from many years ago, great portions of the wall having been destroyed and repaired with just simple rocks wedged in there with mortar. The stone bridge leading from the spire of rock to the island's mountain can be seen as well, and several bodies moving about it. Patrols up and down the bridge, 2 individuals posted on either side of the bridge on the island, and 2 posted on either side of the bridge near the entrance to the keep. A few hours of travel through the jungle should get you to your destination.
How long is the bridge? How wide is the span that the bridge covers approximately?
You see patrols 4 abreast walking easily down the bridge.
How much distance from end to end? I mean, is this like hundreds of feet, or is it like...
This is easily a 60-foot long bridge.
Okay.
Made of heavy stone.
And what it spans is open space, effectively?
Open space that leads to the ocean.
You know, I think it'd be much easier to fight those guards if we drew them into the woods instead of fighting them on that bridge.
We also don't know how many guards there are that could just reinforce that bridge.
Correct. Well,
I'd rather fight them outside than in.
if what we were told by the snake people in the ruined city are true, it sounds like what we see out here is likely a large portion of what they have. It sounded like, at least inside the keep, that there were very few, other than Kushim, it sounds like, and perhaps a few others.
So my thinking is we need to find a place to make camp because Jeel needs to rest.
I agree. We all need to be at full strength.
And I was also thinking that we could test something where one or two of us goes down to a spot away from where we decide to make camp, and down further, set a campfire down there as a distraction and see how many go to investigate.
Sure. And if it's a small enough number, we could ambush them on the way back. Yeah, I think that's fair. Try and split their forces, take a few out. Yeah, anything we can take out is less we have to face. Because once we get on approach, we're kind of going to have to make a beeline, right?
And I don't really want to fight on the bridge because you might fall off.
Yeah. 4 abreast is not that wide when you're fighting.
Well, it's plenty wide for me, not so much for Jeel.
Well, correct. It could be troublesome if we get into a shoving match on the bridge.
I think you're right. I think it's really important we find somewheres where Jeel can rest, the rest of us can rest, and we can formulate some kind of plan, although I do like the idea of setting something up and drawing a few off.
Should be able to use Shynn's smoke bombs for that.
I'd like to, well, can you make more of the smoke bombs?
I have,
You're back to a full arsenal?
I have 3 shells and 6 innards already set to go.
Okay.
So I could gladly give you one of the pouches of the innards and you can throw that on the fire. I'll give you a smoke bomb that doesn't have to be used up.
Could be helpful. It would definitely draw more attention than just a fire alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a good idea. Let's find a suitable campsite out of view of the keep and the bridge so we can actually get some rest.
Do we have the spyglass still?
Should have.
I think Jeel.
Jeel. I think Jeel is
has
carrying it.
I'll rummage through my backpack.
Who picked it up off the ground after Shynn dropped it from the tree?
I did, but I handed it to you.
Well, then I have it. Let me look in my pack. I hope.
Tuco produces the spyglass.
It's got a little crack in it.
Now that we're really close, a little survey of the keep.
Who
I'll
wants-
take it.
There we go.
Ku's got the most discerning eye, I think.
And Ku will take a look.
The keep is busy with activities. You see more of these snake-like things moving about in the keep. Watch the 4-man patrol move up, back, constant motion up and down the bridge. The snake things at the end of the bridge, maintaining their static post, are leaning on spears. They remain almost motionless. Every now and again, a head will swivel around, but other than that, they don't move at all.
As I look, I relay to the party what I see.
There's no sign of Zayeron the sorcerer,
I wouldn't expect there to be.
nor is there any sign of Kushim or any of his men. They may be inside.
I'll lay and continue watch for a while to see what the patrols do.
Ku, is there an obvious entrance exit from the keep itself?
You know, look for that
What is that?
obvious entrance.
There's a door, a broad door, circular kind of arch.
And this is on an island.
Not so much an island, but a spire of rock coming from the ocean. Tall, tall spire of rock.
I'm gonna take a look around the sides that I can see and look for any alternate entrance.
The only other alternate entrance that you can determine would be from the ocean, and it'd be a very long climb. Along the walls are several patrols as well, several stationary snake things,
All carrying spears,
all carrying spears.
no bows,
None that you can see.
and approximately how many spears per being?
They carry a long spear with them, and they carry what looks like quivers on their back.
They're carrying javelins.
Yeah.
I'll relay that to the party. So it looks like there's only one entrance, and I mean, we could try for another entrance, but that'd be climbing up the rock through the ocean, which would just not be a good idea.
Most of us are not very accomplished climbers, I don't think. Well, some of us are.
We could potentially set an ambush. Like, how far, the 4 on the beginning of the bridge, how far away do they look from the jungle, the forest?
It's not far. There's a clear area from the jungle to the bridge, maybe 60 or so feet.
And is it like rocky, or is it just jungle?
It's a lot of rocks and scrubs, and then it scrub like bushes and stuff, and then it gives way to the actual jungle.
If we were to go via jungle, not up the road, via the jungle to the front, we could then launch a ranged ambush against them and potentially draw them towards us and into our fire. And if they fall back, we can then either wait for them to come and investigate and then draw our fire again, or
That's something we could
What do you think,
repeatedly
Lovak?
do and take a few guards out here and there until they finally realize it's a bad place to be, and they'll just post up in the middle of the bridge. But we could still potentially eliminate a few.
if they post up in the middle of the bridge, then we could go to the front of the bridge and still attack them. Because it's about how long from the beginning of the bridge to the middle of the bridge would I think? Should I roll for that? Or
We just said the bridge was like 60 feet long. so it's
so
not
30 feet.
if they post up in the middle of the bridge, they should still be in range of our ranged abilities.
Correct. And right, I think strike and fade tactics are going to be our best here. Because once we hit that bridge, we need to sprint for the keep. Because those ranged attackers on the top will just be raining down on us otherwise.
Right.
If the bridge is 60 feet, Jeel moves at
40.
I move at 35. Tuco moves at 35. The rest of you move at what, 30?
30.
35.
35? Great.
Moulet and I are the slow ones.
I mean, then it's just like if we're running, we're all going to make it across in one go. The ones of us that move faster can take over an area and
Should be able to range some of their javelin throwers.
I say let's see how many times we can pull off this harrying tactic, and if we can reduce it, especially with volley fire. There's 2, 3, 4 in the front. Everyone pick one, or everyone gang up on one. We attack once, we attack twice, and then back off, and then do it again and again, and
Yeah.
just pick off one at a time. Especially if we volley fire. If a few miss, but at least there's enough of us aiming at the same target. Where and it's also going to help break their morale a little bit.
Couldn't Shynn just make us all disappear?
Nope. Too many of you. I can only do 2.
And I can do it myself. or one other person. But that's not enough. And that maybe when we first rush the bridge, so it looks like there's only 3 rushing the bridge.
that be a good time to use the invisibility is once we actually start to move.
That should go to the slower people.
I'm concerned that we'd use our invisibility, which I know we have, you only got so much juice, and I don't think we're going to get a long rest on the other side of the bridge. I don't think these are going to be our hardest enemies in this larger battle.
It's true.
And that magical energy may be better suited elsewhere.
It's true. I mean, and we can see how well our tactics work, right? The upshot of their current position is that they don't have any more reinforcements coming.
Right,
So
they have. They no
everyone
longer,
we take off.
they no longer have any air support either.
So we creep up, set ourselves a decent egress so we can back off and wait and ambush if they follow, or have a safe place where if they come out in mass, we can back off and harry and back off and harry. Let's figure out what our egress is and how far back we want to go in case they do come out in mass. Figuring they'll stomp us now before we even get into the keep.
As far as accommodations for this evening, I recommend we go back down the trail a little so we're not in line of sight of our target.
We can always
Oh,
go
we're
back
gonna-
down to that stone hut.
I think was that a couple hours, the stone hut?
Yeah.
Worst case, right? We could fall back that far if we had to.
But Jill needs a long rest anyway, so while he's resting, a couple of us can head back out and map out quietly our egress and a couple ambush points so we know exactly what we're dealing with. So when we back off, we know what points we need to stop
Go
off.
to.
Fire again, take a couple others. But I do like the idea of the volley fire all called out by one person and just pick one target.
So I
So
think-
enough of us have minor magic that will not drain us all that well.
Oh,
that
yeah. I can throw Eldritch Blast practically all day.
Firebolt I can go pretty much all day, so can
Shynn.
Shinn's got firebolts. So there's enough of us that can throw magical energies for a good distance.
I've got 12.5 arrows.
Tuco, you're still pretty good on arrows as well.
I started with 60. I'm still above 40.
Use a short bow or a long bow.
Short.
Okay, so if I need to borrow arrows, I know I can get some from you.
Yes.
Let's find a camp spot.
So you're going to make camp for the evening at that stone hut.
I think that's a plan. I mean, that's only a couple hours from the keep, effectively. Seems good distance.
We get ready to move at, say, dawn,
Yeah, sleep a little earlier today.
Yeah, because it's not even night here yet.
and we can have maybe a fire.
Well,
Hot meal.
I thought the point of the fire was to draw. Well, I
Well,
guess if we're a couple hours
If
away,
we're a couple
though,
hours away, I don't think they're gonna.
especially without air
Yeah.
support.
And from a building that the smoke in the chimney is considerably less than out in the open.
True. Yeah, we could do a hot meal tonight.
And if they're willing to send 20 after us, that's 20 less we have to deal with.
Make your way back to the stone hut
I hand off the spyglass to Tuco.
Tuco stores it.
and begin preparations for camp for a fire.
Small.
we could do small fire right
In the hearth.
in the hearth of the hut.
There's wood in the building. It's damp like pretty much everything in the jungle. But with a little patience, you're able to start
Oh, there's
a
plenty
fire.
of grasses and things here. We should be able to get something going.
I've got more than enough accelerant.
It's really hot in here now.
With all the vegetables outside that we didn't take, we can easily make probably a good stew or something.
Whip something up real quick, get as much of it into Jeel as possible, and then put them right to bed.
Feel like a little baby.
There's-
Feed him and put him to bed.
There's plenty of cookery there. It's rusty, but still serviceable.
Be right back. I'm gonna go down to the river and get you guys a couple of bronze.
I feel like the river was kind of far away
It
from
was,
where we are.
yeah, Brook was quite a distance.
No well on site.
There's a well.
Try the well.
With a little priming from your water skin, you can draw water nice and cool.
And drop enough for everybody to have their fill, and then we refill the water skins.
I'm gonna go outside while get everything all situated, and after I'm done collecting wood, I'm gonna set up a spot where I can at least post up a watch just to make sure.
We'll still have watches for sure.
Were you still planning on setting an ambush point at a false camp?
We're too far.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
in lieu of, I think the
I
herring
we're gonna
tactic's gonna work
harry,
better.
yeah. Worst case, right. I mean, I know time is of the essence, but at the same time, if we go rushing in and get slaughtered, worst case, we could back off and then, set up a small lunch camp, potentially draw them with Shin smoke, even in the light of day, they would see that clearly.
And next to
We
a
could-
small fire, the draft in the small fire will draw a lot of that smoke up into the columns.
Correct, so yeah.
While we're not doing anything, I think Ku, Tuco, and Shynn could work on making good bombs.
That leaves you and I to head off to the jungle as close as we can and map our egress.
Yeah, we can, as long as we don't get too close. I'm not
Yeah, we're not
particularly
gonna- I don't
stealthy,
think
nor are
we're-
you. So.
Yeah, but at least we can at least map out an area. We can move forward, go through the
And
jungle.
before they leave, Ku will say to Tuco, give him the spyglass just in case.
Yeah, here you go. We'll get some.
I'll have it. I'll tuck it in my bag.
I'm not known for being delicate.
How many flasks of oil do we have? I have one.
I have 2.
I have 3.
At one.
So that's 7.
No, I don't carry oil.
Well, I have 1.5. I oil up to put my leathers on.
Stops the chafing a little bit.
So we have 7 flasks of oil. We could do like I did against the apes. Put some cloth in some, and that way you have some fire bombs.
That could be helpful on the bridge. They're in tight quarters.
It could be helpful. It could also be bad on the bridge because then we'd have to get through the fire.
We'll see. If they clump up, that's when it would be good.
Or to cover our retreat.
And if I'm not incorrect, the assembly of this alchemical mixture for our smoke bombs does not count against us during a rest, so we could still get the long rest, right?
Tuco has 3 pots of honey.
Yes. And some dried fruits.
So are we going to summon Winnie the Pooh?
From what I understand, he's pretty badass.
What can we do with 3 pots of honey?
Do have medicinal purposes.
Medicine check?
My intent had been to cover the taste of poison as I administer it later, but that's ingested.
21.
Yeah, there are some medicinal properties to honey, and also it tastes good.
Then I will set about making... I can make potions of healing with the herbalism kit, so I could potentially use the honey for that. I guess I will try to make as many potions of healing as I can with what we have. Well, that's only a 10.
Funny tasting pot of honey.
Well, you think it may work, but you're not certain.
How many would I have made?
Roll a d8.
7.
So 7. But there's no way of knowing if it's effective.
Is this building flat roof or peaked?
It's peaked.
Anybody injured?
No.
No.
No? Nobody's injured?
Tuco, after helping with the chemistry, will roll his bed mat on the roof of the building.
Good call. I was thinking about just sitting up there, but if you're going to be up there...
I'll be resting and watching, resting and
On a
watching.
peaked roof?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the slope. If it's extremely peaked, then no. Slightly peaked, then yes.
It's not. It has a slight.
Then, yeah, up there.
While the administrations of in the cabin are going on, how much time would Moulet and I have to move? I mean, we know it's a couple hours over and a couple hours back.
Yeah.
How much time would that give us to maybe scope out a path?
You would have probably plenty of time because Jeel needs a long rest.
Yeah, and it's still pretty early in the day still. Are we, like early afternoon at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so we could get up, scope, and get back before it even gets dark.
Well, I'm not worried about it being dark for me.
Well, me neither. But
Do we plan on...
Then we're
only,
fine.
Only because the jungle grows more dangerous at night. That is all, and it will just be the 2 of us. Not like I'm concerned for our safety exactly. However, it's a consideration.
Has the party discussed the hour of start?
Dawn.
I think we should plan on making our first attack at dawn, just as the guards change over, or perhaps, or something along those lines, when it's just light enough to make sure you can truly acquire a target. With any luck, it's changeover, and we'll have a few extra targets, several of which will be sleepy.
All right, so Lovak and I will make our way through the jungle back towards the bridge.
How close are you going to get?
Well, kind of within sight. We don't want to break the woods.
Yeah, definitely not breaking the woods.
Yeah, but,
we're
maybe
not stealthy.
Yeah, 34. I mean, there was a section of it that's kind of open with just scrubs before you actually get out of the woods.
Yes.
We don't need to get past that point.
Nope.
What we're ideally looking for is from the wood line to make our first attack and then having a safe egress back into the woods. So we want to maybe scrape a couple pieces of bark or set up just some twigs stuck in the ground of the same type plant, just so we know we have a path to head back with maybe some ambush points that we can duck behind in case we're being pursued. Make a couple attacks, retreat again, make a couple attacks, retreat again. So that's the type path that we're looking for. So everyone knows what the path is. You hate to be running willy-nilly through the woods to split up. So
Yeah, no.
this kind of gives us a direction to a point where we can get to a game trail or something like that and head back maybe to the cabin, but enough to go back and defensible point that we can keep moving forward. Harry, move back, move forward. Harry, move back.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for game trails as we go. Mark points. You know, Lovak and I can point points out to each other as we find them. Survival roll for that, just to find the game
Yes.
trails and make note. Dirty 20.
Yeah, I'm relying on him. I'm watching guard.
The going is slow because you're stopping every so often to jab these sticks into the ground. So you make it to a point where you feel it's comfortable enough that you can sit and watch, but not have to really be extra cautious.
We're able to find like overturned trees or large tree trunks or rocks where we can.
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll kind of set up before we get that far. I mean, how long do you want to watch them tonight at all, or is this just us mapping?
I mean, I'm willing to wait until at least dusk where we can see what the change of the guard is, but that leaves us hiking back in the dark in 2 hours. I don't particularly care if we have to.
I would prefer
Show
to
some reservations.
I would prefer to start back before it gets full dark.
That's fine. It
because-
doesn't matter then. And if we see a change of guards as we're doing it, or how often they are, is it the same one stuck out there for hours on end? If there's motion out there, both of us are looking over our shoulders and watching and making sure no one's patrolling the woods. So we would probably have noticed if there's anything like that going on.
So you watch for a few hours. The guards change twice. Best guess would be maybe it's a 4-hour shift. Guards come up, replace the guards that are there. The guards that are there leave, go into the keep. And I mean, they all look alike to you. They're all dressed alike. They're all reptilian. There's very little that distinguishes one from another, as far as you can tell anyway, from casual observations and having encountered them only once before.
I'm just going to start referring to the one on the left as Bob and the one to the left as Ted. For no particular reason other than instead of saying right and left, all right, Bob over there and Ted over there.
I'm going to try and discourage Lovak from speaking at all. Convinced he's going to blow our cover, even though we're hundreds of feet from the bridge in the jungle.
The number of guards stays the same, 2 on either side of the bridge. A patrol of 4 coming up the bridge and then back down in constant motion. 2 on either side of the bridge on the keep end. And then a bunch of activity in the keep, milling about. But the activity in the keep subsides once night falls and there's only occasional patrols. There's still those sentinel posts up on the walls, and as far as you can tell, there's none other.
About an hour before it gets to full dark, I'm going to request that we head back.
Back it is.
As you're readying yourself to return, a line of snake soldiers comes marching down the bridge and heads out in the jungle.
Towards where we are?
Yes.
We should retreat. We'll back off. I guess I could roll stealth. This should be good.
My dice do not like me right now.
That's a 3.
I rolled a 6. I'm twice as stealthy as you.
are. I'm retreating anyway. That is my attempt to be
Yep.
stealthy. It was
Yeah, we're retreating anyways, and we have some distance, so hopefully
So the 2 of you go crashing off,
could be just a beast.
sneaking the whole way.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons and Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
In a few hours, you make it back to camp.
Were we pursued?
Yeah, we would have stopped
did they
numerous
continue,
times.
Did they continue to pursue, or they?
No, they
assume
weren't
were just-
pursuing at all. It appeared as though they were just a patrol. When you return to the cabin a few hours later, Tuco, Shynn, and Ku are at the table by the hearth working on whatever project it is they're working on. They're making Molotov cocktails and other stuff that you don't quite understand. Jeel is snoring loudly over in the corner. He's laying on the bed. It seems the bed gave way under his weight, so he's now on the floor on the straw mattress, sleeping soundly.
Something smells good. Is there stew left?
Yeah, there should be some stew left. Also tried to make some healing potions. I don't know how effective they'll be. I
can't wait to find out in the middle of battle when it's dire.
I made 7 of them, so I think 1 for everybody, and I'll give 2 to Jeel since he's most often injured.
You know there's a way to test them, right?
Do you really want to waste one and test it?
I don't know. It's better to know
I'm
if
not
it's
sure
going to
if it's
work
a
ahead
waste.
of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a waste to test beforehand.
That's fine. What do you want to do?
Tuco rolls up his sleeve and says, "Stab me."
I'll stab him.
Everyone reaches for a dagger.
That's right.
Okay, me first. I got it.
Oh, slow down, fellas.
I can
I
stab
just need
him.
a little
Show,
stab.
show the hand.
Yeah, not you. Definitely not you.
Medicine check to stab him in a way that will not be
Cause him to bleed out.
medicine check.
I'm trying to slip my wrist.
24, and then hand him a potion.
Did you hit me?
Who stabs you
Okay.
in the arm?
How many points of damage?
What do you use, a dagger?
Yeah, that'll be 5 points of damage.
Fuck!
It hurt.
Nice stab. Give me that thing.
Hand him a potion.
And he chugs it.
It's really thick and sickly sweet. You get 1 point back.
So I see my wound heal slightly.
Yes.
Well, it sort of works.
I'll use a healer's kit on him, and that'll heal you for an additional 5.
That's better. Got it all bandaged up now. All right. Well, they work a little.
So I'm hearing if it's extremely dire that it might save your life for a moment.
For a moment.
So it's just a D8?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, it'll heal a D8. That's it.
It's not a complete dud, but I wouldn't depend on it.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
If things are
I was
dire,
making them.
maybe better than nothing in a pinch.
A lot better than nothing.
Especially if Shynn or myself is engaged in something.
Did that take both jars of honey?
Yes.
I've been carrying around this giant ape incisor in my belt, so I'm going to hand it to somebody
Oh,
who
no,
can...
Jeel. You had Jeel carry it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind then. It's still mine, though.
No one is contesting that. You pried it out fair and square.
Mule, you gonna hold on to that spyglass?
No, I hand it back to you.
After I eat, I'm going to go outside. Someone can spell me a little later on. I'm going to go outside and do watch.
Hey, give me a boost. I'm trying to get up on the roof.
All right. Cup my hands and let him step in, and I'll give him a hoist.
He's pretty heavy.
It's okay, I'm pretty strong.
Boost him up to the roof.
Lay on my bedroll, half watching, half not.
And soon many of you fall fast asleep. Your evening goes uneventfully as you change watches and you awaken in the morning rested.
Do I have any nightmares?
Oddly enough, you sleep extremely peacefully.
That's nice. 2 nights in a row.
You awake before dawn.
Everyone grab something to eat, but do it light, nothing heavy. Not that we have a lot, but keep it light.
Go out to the garden, grab some more food. The melons that were out there, those make a good breakfast. I'm also going to go out and I'm going to... Is it hot out?
It's very hot.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to fetch a pail of water from the well. You know, I didn't think of this earlier, but this might actually help Jeel. Hey, I bring him the bucket of water and go outside and pour this all over yourself.
I'll walk outside and pour it all over myself.
It's nice and cool.
Then I'm going to turn to Shynn. That spell you use to warm our clothes, you can also do that to cool things?
Yeah, I can also puff of wind him.
Well, no, make his clothes cool.
Okay. I'll keep doing that every couple of seconds until he dries out.
Not until he dries out, just because he likes cold.
Yes, I know. Eventually he's going to dry out.
But
I can continue it every 6 seconds until we're there.
It's not that we want him to dry out. We just want him to have a sensation of cold.
Yes.
Cold,
No matter what I do, he's going to dry out.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, we know that.
So I can just keep it up until there's no more.
Just do it
water.
once. That's all I will say.
Then you get a nice feeling of cool washing over your damp clothing.
Is that refreshing?
Thank you.
Invigorating?
I'm ready to go on a hike now.
Any of those bananas in this garden? Really like those bananas.
No bananas.
It's a shame, because I was thinking if we had bananas, we might be able to set a trap, lure the silverbacks in.
Leave a trail of bananas.
They were really effective against the snakes.
It's true. I'm not sure the risk of our own personal health would be worth it, though.
No, like we killed their boss.
Yeah, but still. Another thing crawling up
I can
our back.
go uber scary and become their alpha.
Another thing crawling up our back, and we're trying to fight snake people.
I mean, Lovak is now the silverback. He's the... When morning comes, you pack up your gear and head for Zayeron's keep. Are you going through the jungle?
Through the jungle.
Well, I think we'd take the trail until we got to a certain point and then make our way through the jungle to be less treacherous that way.
That's kind of what we did. So.
Yeah, correct. So as we go, Lovak and I will point out the markers. When we get closer, the markers to, if we have to flee, these are the points that we flee to. Don't just go scattering off into the jungle. We'll never find each other.
Who's taking point?
I'll take
Let's put Lovak on point.
We'll have Jeel in the back because he's a sore thumb that really sticks out.
I'll be stealthy.
See him holding a twig in front of his face. They can't see me.
Ku will stay behind Lovak, but Tuco should be up with us.
Tuco, why don't you go front? I'll stay behind you, Shynn, and then Jeel.
Sound good?
Make your way through the jungle for the next couple hours and come to that point where Mule and Lovak had scouted the bridge. Everything seems as it has been. 2 guards on either side of the bridge, a roving patrol of 4 that is constantly up and down the bridge, and then 2 guards at static posts at either side of the bridge on the keep end. Activity within the keep is just beginning.
Now, fellas, before we start the operation, don't forget, when we get inside, stay together. That's real important. Everybody clear? Tuco's looking around at all the faces.
Says the guy who's most likely to split off.
It's important for you.
I gotcha.
No problem.
I'll be with you the whole time.
Also remember, trees and things around here, logs, rocks. Shoot, take some cover.
As we move, get closer. Here's a good pinch point. Here's a good cover point. Here's this. So as we back off, take those.
Don't just shoot your bow and then stand there waiting to get hit in the face with a spear.
But I look so good.
You look less good with a spear in your face.
And we'll move up to the point where we think we can ambush them.
Yeah, we'll have to be within 120 feet maximum.
Is that short bow without disadvantage?
No, short bow without disadvantage is 80 feet. Can we
Bridge.
get within 80 feet?
About
and
60.
All right.
Okay, so we can get close enough to short bow.
And again, the trick is to pick one target.
Yeah, well, you
I'll
call
call it.
Lovak call targets.
Everyone aim for that one target. I don't care if we kill them 4 times over.
I got a question. I'm a Kopi. I'm small, and I have a short bow. Is that a short bow?
A long bow.
And we'll wait till the patrol gets to the crest. So there's only 2 there.
Do you want the patrol going away from us or towards us?
Away from us. That gives us a little more time to dispatch the second one. Then when they come tearing down, if they stay at the
we
foot
got
of the
4.
bridge, we'll pick them all off and then we'll back up and wait. They're moving away from us and they get to the crest of the bridge. I'm going to point to the left, and on 1, everyone looses to the one to the left.
And we're all at
There's
advantage because it's surprise.
2 on the left, 2 on the right. There's static posts of 2 on
Okay,
either
that's fine.
side.
Then I'll just
The far left.
No, I'll say it telepathically because you're a little further back than me,
We've got to be able to see him if he's signaling us.
and be within 30 feet. Shouldn't we target the one on the inside and hope that he falls and pushes the other one off the bridge?
They're not on the bridge,
not on the
right?
bridge,
They're
sir.
standing.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the bridge. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
And
We all fire.
Surprise attack.
I got a 25.
Does a 16 hit?
we'll go around the table starting with Ku.
25. You want
25
damage now or
hits, yes.
6 points of damage? Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong dice. I have 2d6, not a d6 and a d4. That'll be 10 points of damage.
21 to hit and 10 points of damage.
1 is down. 2 arrows slam into its chest. The others begin
Now,
getting frantic.
what mechanic are we using? If I loosed an arrow if we all did it at the same time, all those arrows would now hit that dead body, right?
Well, they
so.
would if you're only aiming for 1.
That was the command.
That was the
Yeah,
command.
we're all aiming for the same individual.
He is very, very dead then.
Yes. So arrows from
Arrows,
everyone who has arrows.
Bolts of fire.
Bolts of fire, magical energy.
He's practically going to explode.
Yeah, hit this one snake lizard thing, and just in an instant, it's dead.
We really had it out for Ted.
And now it's initiatives.
Now it's initiative.
Ku,
8.
Lovak,
7.
Shynn,
11.
Moulet,
17.
Jeel.
2.
Are you rolling a d20 or are you rolling a d4?
Was it D20?
Okay, just checking.
GM.
18.
What did Tuco get?
Oh, Tuco's at 8. First in the order is GM.
A horn sounds. And there's a clamor from the keep.
Can we spot where the horn came from?
Yes, it's the guy that was next to the one that was pincushioned, looking down at him. I'd say with a concerned look on his face, but they're almost expressionless. And he's blowing a horn. A long, it almost looks like a bull's horn.
Next on the initiative is Moulet.
Following Lovak's orders, I will attack the guy on the left.
Who has the horn?
Who has the
Eldritch Blast. 2. That's a 23 and a 14.
the 23 will hit.
9 points of force damage.
As he's blowing the horn, you quite literally take the wind out of his sails as one of your eldritch blasts slams into his chest, knocking him back against this post from the bridge. He takes his spear and begins to scan the forest. He's still standing.
After I cast, I will duck behind the nearest tree just to kind of keep myself out of sight.
Next is Shynn.
Crossbow bolt to that one. 12.
12 will miss. Crossbow bolt whizzes past him, falling to the ocean.
Then come a pair of 8s, Ku and Tuco.
The GM had something high.
He went first.
I went first.
Oh, you went first. Oh, never mind. Me or you?
I don't care.
Let me go first. You have the better sneak attack, so that way, if it comes to that, you'd want somebody close. Ku will shoot at the one with the horn. 25
That'll hit.
for 8 points of damage.
So, a question about my assassinate skill. It says for a creature that hasn't taken an action in the battle yet, Have any of these guards taken an action in the battle yet?
The
one with the
one,
the one that blew the horn?
Yeah, he blew a horn.
Well, that suits Tuco just fine, because after the first guard went down and Tuco's arrow was wasted, he was frustrated with this this command of everybody shoot at once. he was not going to follow that command anyway. So he's picking another one of the guards, the interior guard on the right-hand side. So that gives him advantage, 7 plus 6, and 5 plus 6. Both probably miss.
Next time, follow the plan.
Probably not. 7 plus 6 is 13. Does a 13 hit?
It does not. One arrow skips across the bridge and comes to a halt.
And then Tuco ducks. Lovak.
Firebolt. It's going to be a 14. I'm sorry, 15.
That'll hit.
Or 5 points.
And the hornblower is down.
Do you duck?
And I duck.
Jeel.
Doesn't move. Staying stealthy behind whatever, a tree or a boulder.
Do you duck or do you goose?
He never stood up, right?
I never stood up.
GM, you're up.
There's a lot of activity now within the keep. The 2 guards on the right are now moving towards the tree line, spears raised, ready to toss if they see anything or anybody. There are the 4 snake things that are on roving patrol back and forth on the bridge, turn around and start moving towards your location, searching the jungle, heads on a swivel.
Moulet.
Yeah, looks like we got some coming our way. I'm going to pick the leftmost guard. 200 blast. That's a 14 and a 12.
Both miss.
Yeah.
What were you using?
Eldritch Blast. So they'll see the crackling green energy come pretty close next to one, rippling the air with energy as it passes. I will duck back behind my tree.
Next is 11, Shynn.
Load, cock, and shoot. 5.
Next is the 2 8s.
Arrow
Ku
never
and
leaves
Tuco.
the woods.
Ku goes first.
Ku shoots at the leftmost one of the 2. That's a 14, which is a miss.
That will also miss.
And he ducks behind cover.
You're doing a fine job of drawing them out.
Yes, we are.
Next comes Tuco with an arrow, 16.
16 will hit.
16 will hit. It's not a sneak attack. It is
correct.
a short bow.
Oh, they've taken an action?
Yeah, they moved.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sadly. 4 plus 3, 7 points of damage. Next is Lovak.
Same one he just hit. Firebolt is a 17. 13 points.
And that one goes down with an arrow sitting nicely right next to Tuco's in the creature's
I
chest.
don't have an arrow. I'm using Firebolt.
Oh, firebolt.
His arrow's on fire.
There's a burning arrow in his chest. Jeel, you're the bottom of the order.
Still not moving, waiting for the word to be given.
GM.
Several of the snake things begin pouring out onto the bridge from the keep. They join the patrol and begin moving across the bridge. The 2 that are out searching the jungle, gazing
It's
into
just
it.
one now.
Oh yeah, the one, the one that is
Ted, keep up. Oh, shit.
the one that still remains, that's searching the jungle, begins to step back towards the bridge.
Step or slither?
Step, it's got legs.
Okay. The snake having legs, this confused me. So-
Like a salamander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next is Moulet.
As is traditional for our group, the one that's trying to retreat back to the bridge, I'm going to shoot him in the back.
He's stepping backwards, so you'll have to shoot him in the front.
Oh, he'll see it
I'll shoot him in the front. That is a nat 20 and a 17.
Ooh,
Both will hit.
It's going to hurt.
Do you get double dice for the nat 20?
Yes.
Yep.
You do.
Yep. Yeah, crap.
Anything rolled.
Let's see. So that was 12 for the crit because I rolled like crap. It's okay. 12 for the crit. 16. 19 points of force damage. That's still pretty significant.
So those bolts of crackling energy strike him once, causing him to step backwards, and then again, launching him backwards yet again, and then one last time, which launches him into the arms of one of the other soldiers crossing the bridge. The other soldier casts him aside. Those on the bridge begin fanning out.
After Moulet is 11, Shynn.
We'll try this one more time before I get rid of the weapon. So that's a 14.
That will miss.
Drop the crossbow
It's apparently
and
defective.
cast Shield of Faith.
Next is Ku.
How far away are the ones on the bridge?
They are starting to pour off the bridge, so
so-
they are minimally 60 feet away from.
So, how many are there?
There's a lot. It would take you a while to start counting. They're pouring forth from the keep.
Molotov cocktail time.
A small army, literally a small army.
Pop out a cocktail, get it lit, and throw it.
This is what they call an ass-puckering moment.
So it'd be, what would be my attack modifier?
You're throwing it at strength. Strength for throwing unless it's finesse.
That wouldn't be finesse, would it?
No.
Improvised weapon. So it's a 6.
So you toss the Molotov cocktail, it hits the ground not far from the jungle and bursts into flames.
Oh, we have a nice little wall of fire now, and I'm gonna duck back under cover.
Tuco is next, taking a shot. Let's do that first. 20 dirty. Damage of 5 on somebody. And he yells to Lovak, displacing.
5 plus your dex mod.
Oh, plus 3 more, sorry, 8 total. He's yelling to Lovak that he's displacing as he starts to backpedal into the woods. It's Tuco, Lovak is next.
Fire off another firebolt. That's 16.
That'll hit.
That is 8 points, and I will back up as well.
In the same target?
Same target.
Another 6 points, you said?
8.
And that one goes down.
Jeel is up.
And I will back up 30 feet to the first point of cover at the back end of the group.
Jeel sees that Shynn dropped his crossbow, picks it up, and says, "Give me the bolts."
Do you even know how to use that?
We'll try.
Couldn't do any worse.
Better than sitting here doing nothing.
Do you give him the crossbow?
You can pick
Oh, no,
up
I
the
can-
crossbow.
bolts?
I can't give him the bolts until my turn.
Let's change this. I'm going to pick up the crossbow and throw it.
Okay.
All right, improvised weapon.
And he misses.
Is that now
Yeah,
one?
Now it's a 5.
You should have a bag of rocks.
That is true.
So it would have been an 8.
Jeel throws your crossbow. You think maybe aiming at the same person that Tuco and Lovak were attacking, but it hits a tree and breaks and falls down, and then Jeel makes a concerted effort not to make eye contact with you afterwards.
Definitely defective. Next time, Mastercraft.
Just going to go back to my hiding spot.
GM is up.
The snake things begin to fan out in a wide arc and lower their spears and begin walking towards the jungle, slowly and menacingly. From the keep walks a tall, slender individual, a Perthan man. It's Kushim. He walks to the end of the bridge and yells, "Mr. Lovak, I see you've made your way here. Perhaps you and I can have a gentlemanly discussion." And that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Tuco yells out, "Eat a bag of dicks."
Join us every other week as the Eves Watch continue their adventures in Perth. Thank you to our patrons. Find us on Patreon to join the executive producers team and support the podcast. Our cast: Bill Robitaille, Louis Aponte, Frank Whedon, Jared Parker, Marcus Holt, Sin Morse, our DM, Scott, and me, Nova. Thank you, our listeners, for joining us every other week.